there again yesterday. Good win over Laois. So definitely they're a team to be watched anyway.
And what chance do you give them against Wexford?
I think down in Wexford Park now, I don't think they'll beat Wexford down there. They might put it up to them. It might be too close for the first half maybe, but I think Wexford will beat them.
Okay then. Well, let's look at the broader picture now for this year's Hurling Championship. And before we go to our special guest, Claire McNamara begins her report in the county that's the current home of Liam McCarthy Cup, Tipperary. Liam Sheedy. Let's look at the Leinster draw first of all, Liam. Maybe you'd give us your view on this. It's more open than other years.
Yeah, it is. You know, Antrim had a great win last night, the first in 3 years in Leinster, and that's put them through, obviously, to meet Wexford. That's going to be a difficult assignment for them down in Wexford Park. But, you know, they'll look forward to the challenge, and I'm sure Jenny Cahill will go down there full of confidence. But I expect Wexford to take Antrim and qualify, obviously, to meet Kilkenny in the semi-final. Again, they will have a home advantage in Wexford Park, so you'd fancy them to come through. So, I think Kilkenny will be in the Leinster final again this year. Other side of the draw is difficult. Obviously, Carlow and Westmeath are playing. Westmeath is a poor league. You know, you'd expect Carlow to come through there. They'll go and obviously they'll play Galway, and Dublin play Offaly. Offaly love the underdog tag, and they'll really be up for this game. But I expect Dublin and Galway will qualify to meet in the semi-final, and this could be one of the games of the championship, I feel. You know, two really, really good teams. But, you know, Dublin have shown that they've really come of age, I guess, in the last number of months, you know, something that we've all been expecting to see. So I think Dublin will win through to the final against Kilkenny. But overall, I still think Kilkenny will be hurting after their league final defeat. I've no doubt they're back in the training ground and they're working really hard. And I think Kilkenny will be crowned Leinster champions again in 2011.
All right. Let's go to our audience. Kevin Fenley from Kilkenny. Some people are saying there's concerns about Kilkenny. Is it foolish to be talking like that about Kilkenny with so many youngsters and all in the county?
It's not, there's no. Like, I mean, Kilkenny are going for, I think, a record 8 Leinster final in a row. Those players that are playing with Kilkenny, like Tommy and JJ, Henry, so on and so forth, I mean, they've played in more All-Irelands than a lot of people have even seen. Like, I mean, they're playing All-Irelands every year. Like, I mean, it's phenomenal when you think of it. And, like, it's bound to affect them in the sense like that their training is very, very tough. It's hip-to-hip stuff, like, and they're going, like, 9 months of the year. There's, like, and a lot of them, those lads, they're only 28, maybe 27, roughly that age, but they do more hurling than most people have done when they're 40. Like, so mileage catches up, like, and I was listening to Sevi Ballesteros in an interview with Gabe Byrne there recently before Sevi died, and he asked him about his injury when he had it playing golf as a 24-year-old, and Sevi said, well, the older you get, I never saw anyone getting better with injuries. And that's the fear with Kilkenny, that the injuries are mounting up. Like, I mean, at the moment, Mick Fenley, Henry, Richie, JJ, Tommy, all injury worries. And we say, they'll be okay come the championship. But the likelihood is that somebody else will get injured, because when you get to 27, 28, which our average age of that team at the moment is, and last year's All-Ireland and the All-Ireland the year before, is 27 years of age. And, like, the injuries add up, yes, and when one fella comes back, someone else gets injured. And that's the fear I have for Kilkenny.
Okay, it's a reasonable one. You tipped Galway, but Ken McGrath, you've gone for Kilkenny despite the fears expressed by Kevin.
Yeah, I think they're missing, was 5 or 6 All-Stars in the league final, and I suppose Dublin were playing at home, they had nothing to lose, and they had a cut, and probably exposed Kilkenny in the last quarter of an hour especially. But I think Kilkenny will be back. They were going for 5 in a row last year. They're not finished at all by no means. I think they'll give Leinster an awful shot this year again, yeah.
What about Galway?
Yeah, I think, as lads saying, Galway and Dublin, I think if the two of them get to a semi-final, could be a classic. Both teams trying to make the breakthrough. Both sets of forwards liable to score, capable of getting big scores, and I think that could be a great game. And Leinster is very open this year, and it's like, looks like a Munster championship really. There's good games in every round, you know.
If I push you on Galway, Dublin, who would you go for?
At the moment, I go for Dublin. I think they're very strong. They're half forwards, are winning good balls. They have full forward line that are scoring big scores, and I think they're full of confidence, and I wouldn't like to play them.
Now, Stephen Heine, everyone else seems to be talking down their county's chances, but do you think you're upbeat about Dublin and Leinster this year?
Absolutely, yeah. I think Dublin have showed it in the league there. Every game was a good performance. Okay, one loss against Galway where we had an awful lot of wides, I suppose, in that game, and that really cost us that day. But apart from that, every game we've really drove on and got the result, you know. So I think Dublin absolutely are looking good for Leinster.
All right, let's have a look at the lads' predictions then on who everybody went for here. Well, look how open that is. As that reinforces Ken's point. 3 go for Kilkenny. Liam, Ken McGrath and Shawnee go for Kilkenny. Kevin Fennelly and Len Gaynor go for Galway. And Stephen Heine and Cyril Farrell go for Dublin. 3-2-2 split. That's very open. All right then, well, let's switch to Munster then. Cyril, who do you think will come through here to the final?
Well, you know, the first round you have Tip versus Cork above and Thurles, and I think Tip will avenge the defeat last year. They are All-Ireland champions, and I think they'd win that. Then the winners of that go on to play Clare, and I think Tip will go through to the Munster final there. There'll be a right humdinger on the other semi-final. Limerick, after coming through Division 2 unbeaten, won the league Division 2 final unbeaten. They're against Waterford. Waterford will be favourites, but Limerick will have a real cup. But I expect Waterford and Tip to wind up in the Munster final. And then I just have the feeling in the final, Tipperary have more scoring power. I really think this year that Tip for Munster and even for the All-Ireland, that it's theirs to lose, really. I think Tip have the most scoring power of all the teams in the country.
All right. Shawnee McGrath, Cork aren't getting mentioned by too many in Munster. What's your view on that pessimism?
I suppose at the moment, as you'd have to say, it's probably justified because they've had a real mixed bag in the league. I mean, they lost probably 4 league games by a point. And I think that's disappointing, you know. Sometimes you're nearly better off losing a game by 5 or 6 points. You know, you're thereabouts, and you're looking for that killer forward that'll just get you over the line. And during the league campaign, they seem to be struggling. But you know, it's in Semple Stadium, and Liam will know, like, Cork will rise to that challenge. Cork nearly prefer playing in Semple Stadium.